We're back at Galveston Island State Park, and today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm going to set up my portable APRS station and check into APRS Thursday. Today's Thursday, so why not? Thought it might be a good opportunity to test the portable APRS station that I put together a few months ago, and I've used it twice, but it seems like every time I use it, I find something else I need to add to it, which is good. It's good to practice and experiment and use it in times of non-crisis so that should you ever actually need it in a crisis, you're prepared and ready to go. So today, I have this station set up right here. This is my FaraJay cloth antenna, which rolls up really nicely and neatly. This is the 2-meter version, and I don't need anything more than 2 meters because we're operating on 144.39 today. And one thing I've figured out that I need more of is these little permanent tie-down things, these doinies or whatever you call them right here. I had a couple of them. These were in the truck, not in my pack. So I'm gonna keep these in the truck, but I'm gonna get some more of these and put them in my pack to keep with this portable APRS station itself. I used those two to tie it to the pole, and I used one zip tie at the top of the POTA 20 mast there to tie the antenna to the POTA 20 mast because I didn't have whatever this thing is called. I've heard people call it a doingy. It's like a permanent twist tie. So you can get these at Harbor Freight, you get them on Amazon, get them wherever. But I've got some smaller ones, but not with me. So I need to add some smaller ones to the pack. So the first thing I figured out in the pack is that I needed to add some of those smaller twisty things. The second thing I figured out that I needed in the pack, I have my MCOM tools bag here, and I have some extra coax in here. So I've got some coax in here, some RG316 coax in here. And that is a short run of it. That's like, I think that's like 8 or 10 foot. And the one I used since the POTA 20 mast is 20 feet. And it's going up maybe 15 feet or something like that. Then it's coming down here. So I think that's about a 16-foot run. And that one, of course, is ABR coax. So today's video sponsor is ABR Coax. You can save a 10% discount on all of their products with the coupon code of ABR10KC5HWB. But this is ABR Coax right here, pre-built with BNC on both ends, running up to the BNC connector on the FaraJay antenna. And I've got those listed on my website as well. One quick note is that just about a week ago at the time of this recording, I started a new blog. I'm going to start blogging about videos that I make, if that makes any sense. A lot of times people come by the video and they're like, oh, you said you would link this, or you had this, or you mentioned this. What is this? You didn't link this. I said I would link something, or I mentioned something that I didn't say I was going to link, and people are wanting to link to it anyway. Or maybe the links change over time. So check out the link in the description of this video to the blog post link for this video with everything we talk about today. In this pack here, this is the Gigaparts shoulder bag here. This thing sells for like 25 or 30 bucks. It's not a very expensive bag, but it's been incredibly useful for this specific setup here. I'm running a VGC N7500 with the latest firmware that will allow it to have the ability of a Bluetooth KISS TNC. So I'm running APRS-Droid on the tablet connected, and I connect the HT, the app that comes with the radio. Make sure my settings are all correct, 144.390. high power and simplex, no tones and all that kind of good stuff. And then I disconnect the app. I close the app because you can't have two Bluetooth things connected to the radio at the same time. So I can't connect the Bluetooth app and APRS-Droid. Once I know my channel's set and it's good to go, I connect APRS-Droid and I set it up as KC5HWB-15, and we run a Digipeater to extend the range of our APRS signal. I'll be running my UV Pro here with APRS-Droid on my phone, and just running that as basically a client, and then running APRS-Droid on this as a Digipeater so that it extends the range. So in other words, I can go walking around, go hiking or something, and have this with me, and since it's on VHF, it reaches out pretty good, and I can send a signal from here. It'll digipede off of my Digipeater, which is at my base camp, wherever that might be, and up on the higher antenna, and of course that allows me to have a longer range with that. I've got you can't really get these anymore. This is the old Gigaparts Explorer 150 watt solar panel. I wish they would start making these again. And I've got an Impulse Electronics box there with a 20 amp hour Bioenno in it. And I wasn't really planning on setting up the solar panel today, but since it's nice and sunny out, just went ahead and set all that stuff up. Now, one thing I will say real quick is that I kind of cheat, and I turned off the cheat code today, as it were. I run this iGate Mini in the truck 24/7, stays on 24/7, runs on my secondary battery system plugged into a power station running off of USB It's got a USB-C connector in the top there. This antenna port, this SMA port here is for a VHF antenna, and this SMA port is for a GPS antenna. And this is a new ZBM2 GPS antenna that he sent me, so that was appreciated. But this thing stays in the truck all the time. So in other words, if I get on today and send a message to CQ space HOTG to check into APRS Thursday, it's going to go through this APRS iGate, which is in my truck, which is right there. So that's not much of a test, really. It's not much of an experiment if I leave this running in the truck. So I unplugged this, took it out of the truck. It's sitting right here. I'm going to do some more experimenting with this in the field, running it maybe off of Starlink or something, but at a later date, not today. But right now we are out here in the state park with no internet-connected iGate, setting this up as a Digipeater. These guys are talking on the local repeater system here, which is good. And so I've got this set up here, and KC5HWB SSID is 15, just because that's what it was. And I've enabled Digipeating preferences. You click on here, you click the checkbox over here for enable Digipeater. The next option is only Digipeats stations directly heard. I do not have that checked. I have my path as wide 1 / wide 2, or wide 1, wide 2. A Digipeater timed out, packets 30 seconds, that was default, so I've got that there. So I'm going to connect, start tracking, okay. And now we're starting to see stations right there. KD5QCZ-3 is the first station that popped up. I'm going to send my position there. I think I have Beltonham Expo still in the Digipeater. Let's change those preferences there. I had this set up at the Ham Expo. Well, I thought I changed that. Maybe I didn't. For whatever reason, the Digipeater grays out. Whenever you turn on Digipeater mode, it grays out. So, yeah, text after comment, portable Digipeater. That's what I have it set to right now. So it won't let me send a position, so it's not updating itself, but it is working because you can see here's N5HJW that just came in. So now, all right, we're seeing KD5QCZ-3. I'm seeing that on both the tablet and on the phone. KB5KSS-12, NU5M-2. That's a local Digipeater here on the island of Galveston, so we're seeing all that, which is good. And there's no way that I would be able to see all of that. I might be able to see NU5M-2 because it's a Digipeater maybe a couple miles from here. But you see the stubby antenna I've got on the UV Pro. No iGate, no Digipeater running in the truck. It's all running off of this 20-foot antenna right now, and it's coming in through this, but bouncing off the Digipeater. So this is working very well. I'm going to go send position. So I'm -7, beach time, WinLink 443.275. That's a local repeater I've got here. And you can see that popped up on the screen of the tablet as well for the Digipeater. Now I'm going to go here, go to messages. I'm going to go to AN server, ANSRVR right there. And this is from last week, all the messages you see on the screen right now. But I'm going to go CQ, HOTG from Galveston Island. There we go. So CQ, hams on the gram, that is how you check into APRS Thursday. You're going to watch the screen explode here in a minute. And click OK. And if you watch on the screen, it's a dark green right now. There it goes. As soon as it turned bright green, it came back and said message sent. Now we're going to watch the madness here, okay? 9W2KEY-12. 9W2, where in the world is that? It's not in Texas. So, HK7JA-5, okay. Starting to see some messages come in now. Gotten 3 so far, including the end server. And we can go into, if we go into the activity log here, which is this, the button that looks like the clock here at the top of the APRS-Droid screen, you can see right there it says NU5M-2 and KC5HWB-15, which is our Digipeater. So it is digipeating off of that signal and coming in with all of these messages. Now I see N6ZAR-9 and HK7JA5 again. APRS Thursday, hashtag APRS Thursday. Greetings, let's just say greetings from Galveston, Texas. Okay. As soon as that turns green, there it goes right there. Now I just picked some HK7. I want to say that's like Dominican Republic or somewhere in South America. Not exactly sure. But this Digipeater is working wonderfully. Okay. On the screen of the Digipeater itself over here, I don't really see much activity because I didn't check the Digipeater itself into APRS Thursday. I checked my KC5HWB-7, which is this HT right here, into APRS Thursday. So but all the messages are digipeating off the Digipeater and hitting an iGate somewhere on the island. Probably the NU5. Well, in fact, it said in the It's set in the activity log right here. It's hitting the NU5M-2 eye gate right there. And honestly, I thought I'd see a lot more. A lot of times you log into this and you can't get it to shut up. It's a lot of messages out there. But it is definitely working because I was able to send a message, check into APRS Thursday. Like I said, there's no way I'd be able to do it off of this little HT with the stubby antenna just sitting here in the park right as I am right now. So glad I'm not running the iGate because I wanted to test this actual Digipeater. I set this thing up at the Moore Expo and it was so windy that FaraJay antenna acted like a sail, and it didn't. It was really whipping around in the wind up there, and we had some storms and some tornado watches come through the area. There was a tornado south of us, didn't hit our area really, but we were listening to it on the Skywarn net on the local repeater. But it was just really kind of too windy to let that sit up there. The one bad thing about the FaraJay cloth antenna that I will say is that it does act kind of like a sail. If you have a really windy day, then it doesn't do great. But today is not a windy day. Today is a beautiful day out here at Galveston Island State Park. Got some people fishing over here to the left of me. Beautiful water out here, sunny skies. Not much. There's a slight, ever so slight breeze. Not much at all. It's just a beautiful day out here at the state park. So can't really complain with any of that. Let's see. KB5KSS is in there again. N5HJW-9. It's a mobile station, presumably. I'm surprised we're not getting more activity on APRS Thursday, honestly. But let's reach out to KM4ACK and see if he's monitoring today. Checking to see if you're monitoring. I texted with him the other day. I tried to come to the park and do this video a couple days ago, and it started raining on me, and I didn't feel like being in the park with it raining with the stuff out here. I should do an activation like this or a setup like this in the rain sometime, just because, in a disaster or an MCOM situation, you don't always have perfect weather like you do today. So maybe I'll do that next time. But today, I sent Jason an APRS message the other day, and I'm like, "Hey, are you around today?" He goes, "Yeah, I'll be around today." And then I texted him later. I'm like, "Hey, didn't get out to the park, started raining on me, et cetera, et cetera." He's like, "Okay, just let me know when you want to do it." I was like, "I think I'm going to do it for APRS Thursday." He might have his radio turned off on APRS Thursday. I don't know if he does or not, but because he hadn't answered me yet. Okay, there's a new one. Papa 5 Papa Kilo PP5PK. Greetings from Daniel K, Brazil. I think that says Mafra SC Brazil South. Yeah. Okay, so Papa 5 from Brazil, good afternoon. And then Papa 5 PK-1 received from Galveston, Texas. Okay, there we go. I know he's on today. There it is. See how it turned green like that really quickly? Went through Digipeated from this, because I'm running APRS-Droid here. Well, APRS-Droid here, Bluetooth TNC to this, and then I've got the Digipeater Bluetooth TNC to my VR N7500 right next to it. So it's digipeating from here to there, and then that antenna is getting out much farther than this little stubby would. So successful test. This is working. EA9PE, Spain. Echo Alpha 9 Papa Echo, Spain. There we go. I'm going to let that run for a little while and see how that goes. So this is my portable APRS setup. I'm going to be taking this to more events, especially overlanding trips, because you get out in the woods, you get out in the especially like a national park or something, and there's not much cell coverage, and there's not much this, that, and the other out there, and the signals are limited. So something like this would work great. Probably going to take this to Huntsville Hamfest in August, which is about 2 months from the time of this recording, but a little over 2 months actually. But this is a successful test in a good environment, so that we can prepare for a not so good environment. So we can prepare for an environment where I'm actually going to need it and actually want to use it and actually going to want to communicate with it. So, but yeah, so the things to remember is make sure you have the longer coax, which I have. I only have one. I've got two of the shorter ones, but I've only got one of the longer ones, so I'm going to have to get some of those. I've got a little bag of connectors here that I keep in most of my packs. And I get some more of those little twist-tie doingy things, whatever the heck you call them. So no response from Jason yet. HU4BMB. I'm sorry, HJ4. HJ4. Hotel Juliet 4, Bravo Mike Bravo. Just checked in. So APRS Thursday, it's up and working. Put a comment below, guys. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what kind of other experiments you'd like to see with APRS while in the field. Shoot me a message. I carry this with me most days. Most every day, I've got this with me running. And like I said, I've usually got the iGate running in the truck. And I've got full-time internet in the truck. So this iGate's connected, and if I'm near I got a really good iGate in the town where I live in. I've got an iGate in the truck. There's a good iGate on the island that I can usually hit, but not always from this thing right here. So KL0T. So let me know what other kinds of APRS videos you'd like to see. Check the link in the description below for the new blog post I'm going to put up about this. And shoot me an APRS message, KC5HWB-7. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to talk with you over APRS. Doesn't matter where you are. Worldwide, we're seeing a lot of outside the USA stations. Here, now it's starting to come in finally. I'm going to wind down the video and everybody starts talking. HK4Y. Papa Yankee 3 Alpha Echo, KL0T, we heard from him already, K7KWW. Those all four of those stations just popped up on the screen right then. So put a comment in the description below. Check out the blog post in the description below as well. And if you like this video, check out these over here. Yeah, that way. YouTube thinks you want to watch those next. 73, we'll catch you next time.